What's good, Unicorn Gang, Glitter Goons? It is Lady. I am back with another video. This is going to be a story time video about the time I got caught with my ex-boyfriend's sister. Yep, I just said that. Stay tuned.
I'm on the way, we ain't got no time to waste. Popping my gum on the way, am I in the way? I don't want pressure and none, I want your blessing today. Oh, by the way, open the door, by the way. Told you that I'm on the way, I'm on the way. I know connection is vague, pick up the phone for me, baby. If I didn't ride blade on curve, would you still love me? If I minimize my net worth, would you still love me? Keep it 100, I'd rather you trust me than to love me. Keep it a whole 100, don't got you. So give me a run for my money. There is nobody, no wonder I run it. So give me a run for my money. Sipping bubbly, feeling lovely. Living lovely. Just love me. I wanna be with you, yeah, I wanna be with you.
Alright, we're going to hop right into the story time video. So, I changed the names of everybody in the story, of course, because my ex-boyfriend still hates my fucking guts. I don't really care, but whatever. We're going to call him Michael, and we are going to call her Maddie. So, Michael knew that I was bi. So back when I told everybody that I liked girls, it seemed like bisexuals were more accepted, unlike lesbians, because if you came out as a lesbian, you were a dyke, blah blah blah. You wanted to be a man, blah blah blah. So this was in my bi phase. That is why I call it a bi phase. Even though if a guy liked me or tried to talk to me, I always told him that I liked females more than I like guys. So, Michael liked me for a long time, but I never gave him a chance, and he was like, I think you're just going through a phase. I really like you, this, and that. We're going to get married, blah, blah, blah. Now, one of the reasons I started talking to him is because he was very consistent. Like, you know how some people will like you, but they won't call you, they won't text you. Well, they'll tell you they like you, but they won't call you, they won't text you until you call or text them. So he was very consistent. He was very sweet. So that is why, like, I gave him a chance. So, we had dated maybe like 7-8 months. Anyways, we had dated maybe 7-8 months or whatever. So, one day he had asked me, can I come over for dinner to meet his sister who was in town because they were on spring break or whatever. So, I had came over to meet his sister. Now, he had told me beforehand that his sister was a lesbian. So, I didn't really think anything of it. So, I had came over, his parents and his cousins, everybody was there. It was like a big party for her, which I thought was really cute or whatever. So, when she walked in the room, you know, like in the movies when somebody walk in the room and like time like stops or slows down. And like the person is like glowing. This girl was fucking beautiful. I was like, how the fuck is she this pretty? Like, I was just staring at her like, how the fuck are you? How are you walking this earth? So I was just fucking staring at her. So she had introduced herself. I introduced myself. She was like, oh my God, you're the prettiest girl he's brung home. The rest of the girls are ugly, blah, 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 making jokes and shit. And I was just staring at her like, yo, you are fine as hell. Like, how? Like, how are you this pretty? So, with that being said, we finished dinner or whatever. I hung out for a little bit and then I went home. So what we did is, because he was on, he was on the sports team, so they had a game. I would tell my parents that I was going to the game, and then we would meet at Michael's house, because his house was right before mine, and then he would walk me home, which is only like 2 blocks. But because it was a game, and it sometimes got, at that time it was getting dark early. So that was the schedule. That's what we always did. So one day it was a game, and after he played, I couldn't find him anywhere. So I just walked to his house to see if he, beat me there already. So I kind of figured that he would be in a bad mood because they lost, and they lost terribly. So I went to his house and knocked on his door. His sister came to the door. Oh my God. She had on basketball shorts and a white beater. It was like a real relaxed look, but she was so fine. Like, I was like, oh my God. She's so fucking fine. And she opened the door. She was like, hey, cutie, over there. I was like, oh, girl, you better stop. So I was like, is Michael here? And she was like, no, he hasn't came home from school yet. I was like, oh, okay. And she was like, do you want to come in and wait? I was like, no. I don't want to come in and wait. I don't want to do that. And she was like, stop playing. Come in and wait. And so she, grabbed my arm. She grabbed my arm. I damn near came on myself. Because I was so young. I think I was, 14. My hormones were going crazy. So, I'm pretty sure I came on myself. So, I sat with her for a little bit. Maybe, 20 minutes or whatever. And we were talking, and she was like, my brother told me that you are bi. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, are you a lesbian? And she was like, yes, I'm a lesbian. I was like, okay, maybe I can ask you for advice, because I didn't know any lesbians. So I told her that I liked females more, blah, blah, blah. She was like, it sounds like you are gay, but you don't want to tell anybody. I was like, it's not that I don't want to tell anybody. It's just, I don't want people to reject me. At that time, I was very into what other people thought. I am so glad I'm not like that anymore. Because, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck now. But, anyways. She was like, it sounds like you're gay, and you need to be true to yourself. You need to be true to my brother. Tell him that you don't really, you don't really want to be with him. That you're gay. And I was like, I think we do honestly need to have this talk, because I kind of got a crush on somebody. Now, I was not talking about her. I was talking about somebody else. And she was like, oh, so who do you have a crush on? So I was like, I'd rather keep that to myself or whatever. And she was like, okay. So I was like, okay, well, I'm finna head home. Can you just tell him to call me or whatever? And she's like, okay, I will. So I'm walking to the door, whatever. Mind y'all, I'm so shy. I was so shy back then. You could say hey to me and I would start blushing. So she was like, okay, cutie, I'll see you later. My face turned red. I was like, ugh. So later on that night, he called me. I'm like, where were you? And he was like, oh, me and some teammates went to go get some pizza, blah, blah, blah. I forgot. I'm sorry. I'll make it up to you, blah, blah, blah. I was like, whatever. I don't care. So, the next day, I had stayed after school for, I think I had to, turn in a project or something, so I had stayed home a little later. Stayed there a little later. So, I had just popped up over his house. I knew what I was doing. I knew I didn't want to see him, because I knew he was at practice. Yes, I was a little sneaky. I will admit. I don't need y'all judging me. But I was a little sneaky. So I just popped up at his house. And I was like, she answered the door. And I was like, hey, is Jeremy here? She was like, no, he's at practice, I think, or something like that. And I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot he had practice. I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to go. Mind y'all, she came to the door looking like she just walked off the red carpet. Like, she was fine as hell, like 6-inch stiletto heels, mini skirt, halter. I was like, oh my god, she's so fucking fine. Jesus Christ. So I'm like, oh, where you going? And she's like, oh, I'm going on a date. I was like, a date? She's like, yeah. She's like, why you sound so surprised? I was like, I'm not surprised. I didn't know you were going on a date, I guess. She was like, oh, is the little baby jealous? And she started, like, pinching my cheeks. I'm like, girl, I will fuck you. You better stop. So she was like, yeah, I'm going on a date. I was like, okay, just, if you see him before you leave, just tell him to call me or whatever. He was like, okay. So the doorbell had rung, so I thought it was him. So I was like, okay, no, he's here. And she went to the door, and it was her date. I was like, and it was a stud, a little regular stuff. She wasn't cute or nothing. I was like, huh? Ugh, I guess. I was like, you should have just let me take you out on a date. So she started, like, laughing. And she was like, you can take me on a date. I was like, stop playing with me. Like, stop playing with me. My hormones are crazy. Like, please stop. So I left, went home. He called me. He was like, she told me that you had came over. I was like, yeah, I forgot that you had practice. And he was like, oh, okay. And I was like, so is she home yet? And he was like, no, she's not home. Why? I was like, because I just wanted to know if she's okay, if she made it home. And he was like, why? I was like, because she went on a date and people are crazy. I don't want her to get kidnapped or nothing. He was like, oh, yeah, I'll call her and make sure she's okay. I was like, oh, okay. So after that, like, he was just talking. I basically put the phone down because I really didn't fucking care. So, a week later, I had, it was one of his games. And I didn't see him afterwards, so I went to his house. His sister came to the door, and she was like, no, he hasn't made it home yet. I'm like, great. I'm like, I don't understand. He just keeps disappearing. I don't know where he's going. I was like, I don't understand. He ain't never did this before. So, like, she was looking at me, like, real, like, nervous, like, and she was like, come in, we need to talk. And I'm like, shit, what'd I do? I'm like, oh, fuck, what did I do? So that's what I said. Like, I had sat on the couch. I was like, oh, shit, what did I do? And she was like, you didn't do anything, but I'm just going to be honest with you because you seem real cool or whatever. I was like, okay. She was like, Michael has a college freshman girlfriend, and she's back from spring break, and that is why he keeps disappearing on you. She stays, like, maybe, like, 2 blocks away, and that's where he's going. So I'm like, huh? Excuse me? And she was like, yeah, they've been together for, like, maybe 2 years. And I told him to be honest with you when I first met you. And he said that he didn't want to leave either of you alone. So I just feel like you're really cool. And I just wanted to tell you. I'm like, okay, so this is making sense now because since his sister has been home, I'm guessing they went to the same school. He's been disappearing. Now I only get calls like when he get in the house. So I was like, okay. So I'm like, my face is like red. I'm like, I cannot fucking believe he trying to play a real nigga. Like, how you gonna play me? I'm like, all right, okay. I was like, okay, I'm finna go home. And she was like, don't leave mad. Don't be mad at me. I'm like, I'm not mad at you. I'm just happy that you told me the truth. And he couldn't. I was like, that's fucked up. Because I tell him everything, especially, you know, how I'm feeling about how I like females more. A lot of people don't do that. And I did that. So I was like, I just think that's fucked up of him to do. She's like, I understand where you're coming from. And I did tell him that it was fucked up. I was like, it's cool, whatever. I'm finna go. So, I was leaving, and she, like, pinned me on a wall and started kissing me. At this time, my hormones are, like, Yes, bitch, fuck it up. Yes. Because this is the first girl that I've kissed. So I was like, yes. So we're kissing on the wall. We're groping and grinding on each other. It went from the wall to the couch. So I was on top of her, kissing her, groping her, whatever, dry humping, grinding, all of that. So she took off my shirt, I took off her shirt, and she started like unfastening my pants, and I'm just like, yes, it's about to happen. Yes, thank you, God, this is about to happen. He comes in the house. I was so mad. At the fact that I couldn't finish because my hormones were making me crazy. So I was like, he came in the house. He's like, what the fuck is this? And really, sis, you fucking my girlfriend, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I was like, don't you got a girlfriend that stay like 2 blocks away? He was like, huh? Don't you have a girlfriend who stays 2 blocks away? She's on spring break from college. I was like, so when were you going to tell me this? And he was like, that don't matter. You kissing my sister, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, it do matter, actually, because you cheating on me. And I just cheated on you with your sister. So, same thing. He was like, that's not the same thing. I was going to tell you about her, but you ain't here kissing my sister. That's a whole different level. I was like, it is what it is. I was like, he was like, fuck it, I don't want to be with you no more, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. I'm honestly just trying to fuck your sister, so what? So I was like, you know what? I'm leaving. Still upset that I didn't, have sex or whatever. I was like, whatever. So I told y'all that we stayed maybe 2 blocks away from each other. He followed me to my house yelling at me, saying, I can't believe you did me like this. This really hurt. I can't believe you and my sister. You acting like a hoe, blah, blah, blah. I'm acting like a hoe. I'm like, no, you acting like a hoe. I was like, and you just upset. I told you I like females more. I was like, and it's fucked up that I had to do it with your sister, but shit happens. But you already had another girlfriend, so why the fuck do you care so much? And he was like, I wanted to marry you. I was going to buy you a ring and this. And I'm like, go marry her. Go marry her. You don't need to marry me. Go marry her. And I'm finna go get me a bitch because I don't really even like dudes. And he was like, I told you it was a phase. You was doing so good. And then you start kissing my sister. I was like, boy, get the fuck out of my face. I was like, because you already know I carry blades and everything. I was like, so we either going to fight and you going to get stabbed or you going to get out of my face. Because he knew I carried blades and knives. He was like, basically, he was like, oh, okay, whatever. He was like, well, fuck you, man. I'm finna go be with her. I shouldn't have even persuaded you. I shouldn't have gave you a chance. I was like, a chance? What? A chance? Me? I was like, you gave me a chance. I was like, right. That is why I want to fuck your sister. So, I was like, there's nothing left to be said. Make sure you give her my number. So I started walking up my stairs. He starts going ballistic because I had closed the gate behind me. He was like shaking the gate, like, open the fucking door. I was like, dude, you have literally 5 seconds before my people come out this fucking house and beat your ass. I said that. He started walking. I was like, right, that's what I thought. I was like, don't call me. Don't Don't message me on Tag. Don't message me on MySpace. I'm done with you. I'm blocking you. And I want your sister. So I was just sitting on the stairs just talking shit while he's walking. And he was like, fuck you. And I never wanted you. I was like, whatever. So, a couple of days had passed. And I'm not even going to lie to y'all. I called his house looking for his sister or whatever. He hung up on me. I'm like, damn, you a hater. Like, why you hating? How you hating outside the club? You can't even get in. So, she had called me back later on that day, and I was just like, yo, I'm sorry for, you know, doing that. And she was like, well, I started it. I'm the one that should be sorry. I was like, I didn't want, you know, this to come between you and your brother. She was like, girl, fuck him. He'll get over it. I was like, okay, cool. And after that, we became friends, and I never did fuck her, which is very upsetting at the time. But that she was my first female kiss and stuff like that. But I guess that's how the story ends. He still hate me. He still hate me. Like, he literally hates me. This man hates my guts till this day. Alright, Unicorn Gang and Glitter Goons. That was the story of how I got caught with my ex-boyfriend's sister. If you guys thought this story time was funny, if you thought I was wrong, if you think I'm crazy, make sure to comment and give me a thumbs up or share with your crazy friends and make sure they laugh too. Anyways, stay beautiful, and I will see you guys in the next video.
She wanna fuck with a nigga from the Chi-Town, 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 Chi-Town. She wanna fuck with a nigga from the Chi-Town.